Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be talking about an upcoming major storm that's coming for the southwestern United States, including California, Nevada, Arizona, and New Mexico. Now, before I get started with this video though, I would ask that you do subscribe if you do like weather-related content, and also make sure to share this video with your friends, family, and social medias. And today's comment of the day is going to be, what is your favorite TV show of all time? Let me know in the comments and I'll feature my favorite in tomorrow's video. Maybe you can even guess my favorite show. It's actually fairly popular. So go ahead and leave those comments down below and you could be featured in tomorrow's video. Let's get right into things. So we're going to be looking at our NAM 3KM model for our simulated radar here. And this is actually going to be, I would say this is probably by about 8 p.m. here on March 9th, Monday. Which is going to be today from the time I'm making this video. For California, we can see that there is to the south a little bit of showers in the area, but most of the precipitation is offshore at this point still. Now we're going to go ahead and move on, and this is going to be by about, I would say about 12 or 1 a.m., and that's going to be Western time, by the way. And we can see that there is some thunderstorms or even heavy showers making their way onshore. The chance for thunderstorms is actually there for the southwestern United States and a lot of these areas, even Los Angeles. Very, very unusual, but definitely the chance is there. We can definitely see this model is indicating areas of thunderstorms making their way onshore to California and even there down south of the California border in Mexico. Now we're about to move on further where we're going to start to see this storm really make its way onshore and start bringing rain to far more areas for California and even into Arizona. And then towards the end of the video, we're actually going to start talking about that total rainfall for this entire storm. So make sure to not miss that part. Alright, so we're going to be taking a look here, and this one's going to be probably by about 6 a.m. on Tuesday, March 10th here, and that's going to be, again, Western time. And we have less thunderstorms, I would say, but definitely some reds and oranges in there, so I'd say it's possible, but mostly just darker greens, pretty sporadic through the area of Southern California and then even into Arizona as well. And if you take a look to the north there in kind of central California, we do have some snowfall. I'll also be showing you guys our total snowfall map at the end of the video as well, so we can take a closer look in at how much snowfall is to be expected for the mountains of California, which there definitely is some. But for the most part, we're looking at some heavier showers with some spotty thunderstorms for Southern California. Definitely possible throughout the day, Tuesday, and even possibly Wednesday as well. Now, let's move on once again, and this one is going to be approximately by about 1 p.m. on Tuesday, March 10th. And we can see that there is more thunderstorms by this point up and down the coast and a little bit inland regions of California there. We can see some reds and even darker reds. So definitely some thunderstorms possible, especially there for the coastal regions to the north of Los Angeles is where this model is kind of trying to pinpoint it at, but really it could be anywhere. But definitely some heavier showers at times. Everybody's going to get hit by some rain here. Very good news for California. But it is going to be a very action-packed couple of days here. Definitely not a situation we're very used to down there in the southwest. Very unique situation to say the least, actually, with these thunderstorms being possible. Now we're about to move on towards later in the day, Tuesday, and then we'll eventually make our way into Wednesday and take a look as these storms continue for the areas in Southern California. Alright, so we're taking a look here, and this one's going to be probably by about 6 p.m. on Tuesday, March 10th. And we can see that there is some thunderstorms still around there for Southern California. They're making their way towards the very eastern regions of Southern California, near the Arizona border, and probably making their way into the very western regions of Arizona by this point as well. So we have some thunderstorms there near the border. Also notice we still have some snow going on for the mountainous regions there in central California, as well as thunderstorms very, very close. So we could see some very heavy snowfall if these very heavy precipitation cells make their way over the mountains. We could see some very heavy snow for some of the mountains, so be on the lookout for that if you do live in those regions. Outside of that, we just have still some thunderstorms all around the areas here for Southern California. Definitely some cracks of thunder going on. Severe weather, not really a threat here. Mostly just going to be some general thunderstorm risks and some heavier showers, to say the least. I'm expecting that we will see a lot of rainfall because I think we're going to have multiple thunderstorms per region. I think different areas, obviously you might not get hit by some, you might get hit. If you don't get hit, you'll get less rain. Obviously, if you do get hit, you'll get a lot more rain. I think areas that do get hit are definitely looking at 1 inch to 2 inches of rain over the next couple of days. So a lot of rainfall coming for Southern California. We're about to move on and take a look as we move towards Wednesday morning here. And we're going to have to switch to a lower resolution model and just take a look at the next couple of days. And then we're going to start talking about total rainfall and total snowfall here for the southwestern United States. All right, so as you can see here, this is actually going to be still by about maybe 10 p.m. on Tuesday, so we're almost heading into Wednesday, through Tuesday night into Wednesday. But we see some general precipitation is heavier. They're more in the central regions of California, according to this model, and also we have some for Arizona and New Mexico. They're on the border. That is a pretty mountainous region. We do have some snowfall being indicated there as well in those blue shades there that you can see on the border of New Mexico and Arizona. We still have snowfall going on for California as well, so 2 different areas of snowfall by this point. Now, we're going to move on, and this is going to be approximately by 2 p.m. on Wednesday, and you can see it's basically really lightening up by this point. We have showers still around for California, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico and Arizona, but really, it's very much so lightened up by this point. Some spotty showers in some regions, but really, it's going to be a lot less potent than it was earlier in the day on Wednesday, and then for Tuesday and Monday, obviously, it was a lot heavier than it's going to be as we head towards Wednesday afternoon. Now, let's move on towards, well, what this is going to be approximately about 2 a.m. on Thursday, March 12th, and we can see that by this point it is all said and done. Maybe some spotty showers, but really said and done by this point. It's basically over for the most part, with the exception of maybe some snow showers still going on there for the mountains of California, and maybe a few showers there for Arizona and California. Now, we're about to move on and start taking a look at some of that wind that could be expected with this storm. And then we're also going to take a look at that total rainfall and total snowfall that's going to go along with these thunderstorms in California, Arizona, Nevada, and then even in through New Mexico. Now, this first frame for our wind is going to be by approximately about 2 a.m. on Tuesday, March 10th, and in those blue shades, that's where we're at anywhere from 4 to 20 knot winds, so really that's where we're at about light to maybe breezy. It's as you get into the greens and yellows, that's where we're at 20 to 30 knot winds, and we can see some of that trying to make its way onshore there for Southern California, even some of the central coast there. That's where it's going to be very windy, to say the least. It's going to be definitely gusty, and you need to be on the lookout for some very minor damage along the central and southern coast of California there around 2 a.m. on Tuesday, March 10th. Now, as we head towards about 2 p.m. on Tuesday, March 10th, we can see that most of the greens have made their way to Northern California by this point, and even southern Oregon. So definitely the greens and yellows around for about that time frame, so definitely be on the lookout for some, again, minor damage in those regions as this wind is going to be moving onshore about 2 p.m. on Tuesday. Now let's take a look at that total rainfall, and we're going to show you our GFS model and also our Canadian model to get 2 different opinions. So for our GFS model here, anywhere in the green, we're looking at about anything to about ½ inch of rain, so a lot. For California, ½ inch of rain is already a lot, but it's as we head into the blues, that's where we're looking at ½ inch to 2 inches of rain, especially as we head into those lighter shades of blue. That's where we're closer to 2 inches of rain, and then in those pinkish colors there for Arizona, that's where we're looking at 2 to 6 inches of precipitation. So definitely a lot of heavy precipitation expected for these regions, and a lot of it is expected for these regions. And here's your Canadian model, which shows even more. You can see a lot more of those pinks for California there in coastal California, and then Arizona. So we can't rule out 2 inches or more for Los Angeles or other areas in Southern California as well. Very interesting setup here. Now here's what the National Weather Service is thinking. And we can see that we're expecting anywhere from 1 inch to about 2 inches of rain there for coastal California, and they're not really expecting quite as much for Arizona. They are expecting the chance for 1 to 2 inches of rain there, but they're expecting coastal California to get the most here. In the reds, that's where it's indicating 2 inches plus, by the way. Now, for your snowfall, we're going to be looking at our GFS model just briefly, and you can see that for Arizona and New Mexico, we're looking for the potential for 6 to 12 inches of snow in those pink shades, and even possibly 12 inches plus there for the mountainous regions in between Arizona and New Mexico. And then for the mountains of California, mostly just looking at 6 to 12 inches of snow there for some of the southern mountains there. Now, for the comment of the day yesterday, I asked, do you prefer cold temperatures or do you prefer warmer temperatures? And NASANYC said, in cold temperatures, you can always add layers to keep warm, but unless you have a pool or AC, it's hard to keep cooler in the summer. And I definitely agree with that to a certain extent. You can only take a certain amount of layers off, but in the cold weather, you can just add layers, and you can keep yourself warm. But let me know how you feel about that, because I see that argument a lot in the weather community of the warm versus cold people talking about that type of argument. But how do you feel about that argument? I think this person definitely brings up a valid point, but I'd like to know what you think. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, be sure to share this video with your friends, family, and social medias, and I will see you guys in the next video.